watching Sweep the League. Subscribe and share.
Rudy Campos Jr. here from Sweep the League. Hey, make sure you go and follow Sherilyn on Instagram. Just search official Sherilyn on. Good Monday evening, guys and gals out there. It is Sweep the League. It's the Manic Monday edition of Sweep the League. I mean, hell, it's a great weekend. And I was looking at a wrestling, I guess, a GIF or GIF or whatever you kids call it, had Disco Inferno walking down the ramp, and it said, you know, the weekend, and it has La Parka, the great La Parka, rest in peace, La Parka, coming down with a chair, labeling him Monday and just slamming him in the back, slamming Disco Inferno in the back. So that's kind of how it feels on a Monday. But nonetheless, we are here on Sweep the League. It's Rudy Campos Jr. Of course, we'll be joined by Coach Gio, Derek Gervin. The Rock's going to be making his return again. Those guys will be on with me later on this week. But it's just me tonight for all you guys out there. We're going to talk NBA Finals. Hey, Boston's up 2-0. We're going to get into some of that NBA Finals talk. Are the Mavericks done? You guys let me know. Also, the whole Dan Hurley thing with the Lakers, there's definitely has to be a reasoning behind that. Let's see if we can crack that code of Dan Hurley staying at UConn and not becoming the Lakers head coach. The NHL playoffs, actually NFL HL Finals, Lord Stanley's Cup. Florida is up 1-0 in the series. We'll get an update on this scoreboard for the Stanley Cup between Florida and Edmonton, plus every other thing that comes up on a Manic Monday. You guys got questions? Ask them in the chat. Appreciate everybody joining me tonight. I got a couple of announcements as well. Rudy. Sith is in here. Haven't forgot about you, Sith. I'm going to contact you this week. We've got your prize coming as well for your birthday. Also, congrats again, Tim Gonzalez, winner from Friday. He'll be getting a gift card in the mail, as well as Mario Cavazos. He'll be getting a gift card as well. So congratulations to Tim and Mario, and then the birthday shout out to Seth. We'll be giving all of them their prizes here pretty soon. Rest in peace, La Parka. Definitely rest in peace, La Parka. Currently watching Monday Night Raw. So I'm working with another guy here that we're going to be adding to Sweep the League. He's going to come in here kind of weekly. We're going to do some wrestling talk. We had mentioned Lucha Underground. I was a massive Lucha Underground. Obviously, Ricochet is not King. He was Prince Puma, but also you had guys like King Cuerno. You had my mind went blank. Sierra Medio. I got the Hispanic last name. I can't speak Spanish, so you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to Lucha Underground. What's up, Louis? Let's give a shout out to Louis, man. La Casina. Food truck in New Braunfels, the best food truck. And Louis, FYI, we're working on some slides here for La Casina food truck. You guys are going to be seeing a lot more commercials from Sweep the League. We've added a whole lot of stuff. Sports Insanity Network up north. We are up in the northern part of America, so across New York and across the northeastern region. Sweep the League is being broadcast up there. Also, we added I Am Refocused Radio, Shemaya on the Beats. That's another huge network. I Am Refocused Radio. They do a lot of great interviews out there. You're talking anything from Cuba Gooding Jr. has been on there. You just got a whole bunch of people that have been on I Am Refocused Radio. Now, Sweep the League is a part of I Am Refocused Radio, so we are growing. Shout out to everybody out there. Appreciate you joining in. Let's see. Sheesh, I'll be down to comment on wrestling. Rudy, your boy is 2 for 2 for predictions. Shout out to Sith. Yeah. You came within 1 point of the Boston game last night. I think you said they would win by 8, and they ended up winning by 7. I took the over, so I would have lost that bet. Shout out to Sith out there. Nonetheless, guys, it is 50 League. Let's go ahead and get into some NBA Finals talk. Of course, we're talking Boston and Dallas. All right, guys. So, Dallas is down 0-2 in the NBA Finals as I'm trying to crack open my special leaf tea here. Who's been the MVP so far? let's talk about that. It hasn't really been Jason Tatum. I mean, you could say Jaylen Brown has been MVP. Kristaps Porzingis has been MVP. Drew Holiday has been MVP. Jokingly, Bob Meyer last night said that Brad Stevens is the MVP for the team that he put together. I don't doubt that at all. I would definitely give Brad Stevens an MVP vote when it comes to Boston if they end up winning the NBA title, number 18 in Boston's Boston lore up there for Celtic land. But Brad Stevens did a fantastic job. The biggest move that he made, obviously, was Drew Holiday. Bringing in Kristaps Porzingis is perfect. Kristaps Porzingis, when he was drafted and he was a New York Knick for the first part of his career, he came in and he was having to be the guy, and that's not Porzingis's role. He could he handle it? He can be the guy, but he's going to have a couple of more guys, or at least one more guy, for him to be successful in the league. Now, one more. I mean, he did play with Luka for a little bit there, worked, but it didn't. But during that time, there was a lot of injury concerns for Kristaps, so I get why it didn't work there. But in Boston, he's literally the third option. If not the third option, he's the fourth option. I mean, you've got Jaylen Brown, you've got Jason Tatum. You're seeing the emergence of Derek White, as well as the consistency of Drew Holiday, meaning that not all the eyes are focused on Kristaps Porzingis, and that's why you're seeing him put up an MVP type NBA Finals right now. He is one of the MVP candidates for the Boston Celtics. He had another good game last night, and we can't take nothing away from it. I think he's going to be a difference maker. I felt Derek White would be the difference maker for Boston. He would be the key for them winning. Derek White is playing superb defense, as we as San Antonio Spurs fans and everybody that is a San Antonio Spurs cover, media for San Antonio Spurs know Derek White is an essential piece of the Spurs, and he was a fantastic player here. Sad to see him go, but again, if you don't lose Derek White, you don't trade away DeJounte Murray, we probably don't have Victor Wembanyama. So, Victor Wembanyama was the omelet, as Derek White and DeJounte Murray were the eggs. You had to crack them in order for us to make that omelet. Victor's here, but nonetheless, he's doing a fantastic job. Drew Holiday actually is my MVP right now for Boston. I think Drew is making a huge, huge case for being MVP in this series. They're going to go as far, obviously, as far as Tatum and Brown go, but look at the job that Drew has done. I know Brown has been able to guard Kyrie, and they're all making it a living hell for Kyrie Irving. It's very tough for Kyrie right now, but Drew is doing a fantastic job on the defensive side of the ball. He's guarding his assignments. He's making the right passes. He's scoring at will. Drew Holiday is definitely my MVP for the Boston Celtics. Can the Mavericks come back and win? We have seen teams. I think teams are 5 and oh god, don't get me wrong. I know 5 teams have come back 0-2 to win in the finals. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere the last time it was the Dallas Miami series, where one of the teams was down 0-2 and the other team came back to win in that series. Can Dallas do it? Let's not beat around the bush, guys. If there is a team in the league, Dallas is one of those teams. We've seen Luka Doncic. We've seen him perform. We've seen him play in this finals, and he's putting up numbers. He's putting up Luka numbers. He's not getting the help. Obviously, Kyrie's not giving him all the help that he had been in the playoff run. Big guys, Gafford, Washington, Lively, they were struggling. They're struggling. Maybe a little bit of home cooking is what Dallas is going to need to kind of right the ship here. Who knows? I think maybe Dallas. In fact, I'm not even going to say maybe. I'm going to take the Mavericks to win Game 3. I think it's going to be 2-1. Dallas comes home. I think they get Game 3. Then for Game 4, I'm assuming Boston's going to win Game 4, and I think they close it out in Game 5. So originally I had Boston in 5 and 6. I'm taking Boston in 5. Boston's just too deep right now. It's way too deep. They're playing really good defense. I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Boston Celtics. Al Horford is playing great. They're getting everything that they can out of all their players, and they are leaving it out on the floor. So I'm taking Boston in 5 now. Originally, like I said, I had them in 6. I'm taking them at 5. I do fully expect Dallas to win game 3. And I think it's kind of one of those, we're back home. You're going to see the excitement from the Mavericks. You're going to see the excitement from the crowd. They're going to be hyping up Dallas. I think Kyrie has a better game in game 3. As a matter of fact, I feel Luka, Kyrie will be a dominant backcourt. I feel they're going to score. I'm going to set a number out there. I'm going to take the over on 60 for Luka and Kyrie in game 3. Also, you're going to see a way better performance from Lively, from Gafford, from PJ Washington. These guys are going to be able to do a little bit more at home. So I think game 3 is that one where Dallas comes in. They take game 3. Is it going to be a dominant victory? I think it's going to probably be a 7 or 8 point victory for Dallas. Celtics are going to regroup, just make this minor adjustments. And really, there may not be any adjustments to make for Boston if they end up losing game 3. It's more of not, can you say motivated? I mean, yeah, you could say motivated is a word for Dallas coming back home, winning in front of their home crowd. So there really may not be a whole lot of, adjustments to be made from Boston. So I'm taking Dallas in game 3. Derek White's been the X factor. He has been an X factor. I think Drew Holiday's been the bigger X factor for Boston, but let's not say that Kristaps Porzingis hasn't been the biggest of X factors when it comes to Boston. I mean, he was out with injury, came back in game 1. You saw the performance he had in game 1. He was the MVP of game 1. Game 2, he continued to just chip and add more, scoring, add defense. You saw him have a couple of blocks there. Kristaps Porzingis is definitely in the talks for MVP, and he's definitely the X factor for Boston as well. Seth, appreciate the comment. Kyrie's the Celtics MVP. He's not showing up. He's going to help Celtics complete the sweep. I think, like I said, I'm taking Dallas in game 3. Got to take Dallas in game 3. They're going back home. The electricity of the crowd, it's going to hype them up. Like I said, these are my predictions right now. I'm taking the over on 60 points for Luka and Kyrie. Luka's probably going to go for 32, 33. I see Kyrie right around that 28 to 30 mark. So they're going to have a big game. I fully expect Dallas to win game 3. Boston comes back, takes game 4, closes out at home in game 5. And they raise the banner, number 18 in Boston Celtics history, back in the likes of Bird, McHale, Russell, Kuzi. So nonetheless, it's going to be Boston. They just looked very, very dominant here. So that's my NBA Finals talk. You guys have any questions about NBA Finals? Drop them in the comments. Appreciate everybody here. We're going strong right now. 79 on the live stream is the count right now. Appreciate everybody joining in. You guys want to drop comments. We definitely read your comments. You guys have questions. You guys have concerns, life concerns, man. Life concerns, they happen all the time. We talk about anything and everything here. This is Sweep the League. Rudy Campos Jr. When we get back, NHL. We'll give you an update on the NHL Stanley Cup. Lord Stanley Cup. Who are you guys going for? If y'all didn't see on Friday, we had the NHL special. We had the Lord Stanley Cup special. Florida against Edmonton. We had the Best Boys podcast here. Barry and Carson Best they joined me on Friday night. We broke down the entire Stanley Cup. We gave you a massive preview. Who are you guys going for? Is it Florida, who's up 1-0? I took Florida in 6. Or is it Edmonton? For all you old guys out there, the Wayne Gretzky and the Mark Messier guys out there who won in Edmonton, are you going for the Oilers? This is Rudy Campos. This is Sweep the League. When we get back, NHL update and also Spurs talk. Had a nice conversation with Jeff Garcia, which you'll be able to see on tomorrow's Locked On Spurs. Nonetheless, we'll be right back. It's Rudy Campos Jr. Sweep the League.
Man Gervin, and you're listening to Sweet the League Radio.
Yeah, shout out to George Gervin out there for giving us a sweep the league drop. NHL coverage, man. As of right now, end of the second quarter, we are all tied up. Edmonton and Florida all tied up at 1 heading into the final period. Right now, it is tied. Oilers, Panthers, 1 apiece. Again, Florida does lead the series 1-0. So, like I said, I was on Friday night. We had about 7 o'clock. We had a late Friday night edition of Sweep the League. It was the NHL Stanley Cup preview for Florida, for Edmonton. I was joined by the Best Boys podcast. Check it out, guys. The best NHL podcast out there. Carson Best, his dad, Barry Best. Barry Best, for those of you that know San Antonio radio legend there, Barry Best. They do a fantastic job. They joined me. They say that Edmonton is definitely, the starstruck team. Connor McDavid. They are the guys that a lot of people are picking to win, but Florida is that scrappy team. Florida is the blue collar team. The guys that are just going to get down and dirty, make it tough for Edmonton. And when it is all said and done, of course, the Oilers are probably the favorites in the Stanley Cup, but it came down to one thing, and one thing that Carson mentioned on the podcast, as well as Barry, but Carson hit it, a lot on the subject was goaltending. That's what it's going to come down to. Which goalies can come up clutch. And I feel like don't get me wrong, I'm not a hockey expert by all means, but that's what I'm taking Florida, just because of the scrappiness, just because I think that they'll be able to just get down and dirty. They're going to do a lot of the dirty work. And not only that, it's the underdog. I'm taking the underdog. I like Florida, and that's who I'm going to stick with. Florida in 6, but as of right now, end of the second quarter, Oilers 1, Panthers 1. Lord Stanley Cup, tune in for that. We'll have Carson and Barry back either this week or next week to get us an NHL update. Also give us a preview for the rest of the Stanley Cup. Like I said, Sweep the League, we bring everything here. Everything on Sweep the League. We talk about it all, guys. We talk about it all. Leave your comments in there. Again, shout out to Tim Gonzalez, Mario Cavazos, our 2 winners from Friday. This Friday, we'll be giving away something else again. We're giving it all away. We're giving away the farm. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. We are last at 75 on YouTube. Share that YouTube link. Get us subscribers. Tell your friends. Hell, you know what? Create a YouTube account for the pet. Create a YouTube account for them. Add another subscription there. Or the more subscriptions we get, the more prizes we give away. And last but not least, for those that didn't join us on Friday, like we and Gio said, we get to 1,000 subscribers. That's a cool 1,000 subs. Me and Gio are going to give away some cool, cold cash. Yep, that's right. Some lucky guy's going to get some cool, cold cash from us here at Sweep the League once we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So share once, share twice, third time's the charm. Share it all, guys. Let's get those YouTube numbers up. Appreciate everybody that is a subscriber already. What's good? Tar Heels still suck. Of course, Tim Gonzalez is in here with the Tar Heel Talk and Pluto Blue Devils. Again, shout out to Tim. Congratulations on the win here for Tim Gonzalez, guys. Before we move on to the next thing, because I want to talk to you more about the Celtics, I actually have a rant. So we're going to do a little rant here for the Celtics. We got a lot of us stuff to cover here. Like I said, some Spurs talk. I talked to Jeff Garcia earlier today. It's going to be on Locked On Spurs, but I want to get y'all's ideas on some stuff here. Asset-wise, we talked a little bit about draft, stuff like that. Plus, we'll get into a couple of things. Shout out to the Brahmas. I'm going to give them a shout-out here as well. But let me share something for you guys right now. It is right here. So, you saw me post it on Facebook. I'm going to post it on X, but Sadie, all-star bound, guys. We're going to talk about Sadie here. She is on her way to the World Series, and they are doing a fundraiser for Sadie. Bringing it up because Sadie is, she's like family to me. Her and her parents are family to me here. So we're trying to support Sadie to get to All-Stars, the World Series, All-Star World Series. So they're going to have a little fundraiser going. If you want to help out in any way, get Sadie there. They're doing a raffle right now. So you basically have, I think it's 35 spots, $25 a spot. They're going to give away $200 back to a lucky winner. Again, all the money goes towards Sadie. Goes to the fundraiser to help her get to All-Stars. Hey, we were all kids, man. We were all kids. So, we all of us were playing sports. We all had our chances. Me was bowling, so I had chances to go up to a state tournament. I had chances to go, to different tournaments around, Texas. So, nonetheless, as kids, we try to support. And as former athletes, we try to support everybody and anybody we can. They're doing a fantastic fundraiser. I'm going to share this on X for those of y'all that want to help Sadie get to Louisiana, get to World Series, the All-Star World Series that her and her team are going to. She's a fantastic player. Hit me up. You can DM me on X. You can DM me on Facebook. Whatever you guys want to do. If you want a spot in there, let me know. I'll get you a spot in the raffle. Or if you just want to make a donation to Sadie and her team to get them to All-Stars, let me know. Again, Sweep the League full supporters of the Beehive, San Antonio Beehive, sending them to All-Star World Series in Louisiana. So again, we'll be sharing this all week for you guys out there. You want to help them out, contact me. I'd be sure to give you the contact information. If you want to get into the raffle, let me know. Again, I'll give you all the information you need. Or if you want to make a monetary donation, everything goes back to the team, the San Antonio Beehive. Everything goes back to Sadie getting to the All-Star World Series. So again, appreciate you guys joining me on that as well. Yeah, Tim's in here. We could all use some cash right now. I think everybody could use some cash right now, Tim. There's no doubt about that. But I got a little thing here. So I see a lot of people posting this, and is it rubbing the wrong way? Maybe so. I have no idea what people's feelings are this, but I see a lot of people talking about Boston had an easy path to the finals. And it seems to piss a lot of people off because they had the easy finals. The other day, it came out that Luka was questionable because of a thoracic injury. And then the very next comment you would see after they were posted about Luka being questionable was, just give Boston the title. They have an easy path to the title. They're dealing with injuries in every series, and they're dealing with this and that. Luka ended up playing. He ended up being the best player for the Mavs. The Mavericks are healthy. So let me go back a little bit. Yes, Boston has made it to the finals in the East. They've dealt with teams that have injuries. Donovan Mitchell, the Indiana Pacers. They've had the Halliburton went down with injury. I mean, Giannis is another one that went down. I mean, there's been a lot of injuries in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I'm not downgrading that at all. What I'm downgrading is the fact that people are pissed off because Boston is the easy path to the finals. Do you ever apologize for winning? Whether you played, you had every injury, every superstar was injured, and it just so happened to be against Boston. Do you ever apologize for winning? Is it Boston's fault that these guys got injured? I mean, injuries happen. Injuries happen at the worst time. I remember when Tim Duncan went down with the knee injury and they were playing against Sacramento. That was a catastrophic injury. Kawhi Leonard is another one. A catastrophic injury during those playoffs. Injuries happen to your best players. You cannot come out with the Boston had the easy path. Look at the other side of the spectrum here. If Tatum goes down, then Boston may not be here as well. If Brown goes down, if White goes down, if Drew Holiday goes down, then they probably wouldn't be here right now. I mean, they did have an injury concern with Kristaps Porzingis. So I'm sorry, but for me personally, the whole Boston had the easy path. I understand what people say. I understand, hey, yes, they went through teams that had injuries, but it's to no fault of their own. It's not their fault that they were able to get victories and win series because the other team, their rivals, their opponents had injury concerns. It happens. It's a part of the game. Now you're going against a healthy Mavericks team. They've beaten the healthy Mavericks team, and they're up 2-0 right now. Could they sweep? Not likely, but they could. So if they swept, my question is if they swept the Mavericks, is anybody going to be crying about the fact that it was an easy road to the finals? It was an easy road to the championship, knowing that they may have swept a Dallas Mavericks team that was healthy and arguably had one of the top 3, maybe 4 MVPs in the league, in the top 4 MVP in the league. I mean, he's top 3, definitely top 3. I had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 1, I had Jokic 2, and I had Luka at 3. So top 3 MVP candidate. If they sweep Dallas, are we going to hear any more people crying? Well, it was an easy path for Boston to win number 18. Let's put an asterisk on this one because they just went through all these teams, no injury. The damn Celtics haven't lost a game on the road in these playoffs. There's home court. I don't like the complaining about the path that Boston has had to the NBA Finals. Injuries happen. It's not their fault. So I get it. We got to complain about stuff, and that's the easy one to complain about. But let's go back before the playoffs. Boston had the best record in the league. They were playing against healthy teams the entire time, the entire season. Majority of the teams were healthy. So are we going to, downgrade what they did in the regular season by having the best record in the league? You sure as hell can't. Let's not discredit what Boston's doing in the playoffs just because of injuries. Can't do that. Can't do that. Give props where props are given. Boston is playing out of their mind right now. So shout out to Boston. They're doing it. They're really, really doing it. And if they sweep a healthy Mavericks team, put all those words to, put them to shame. It's no more concern anymore. They won. They are the better team in this series. I feel like I said, they're going to win, but we got to put that to rest, man. We got to put the whole, Boston had an easy path. It's never an easy path. Never an easy path at all. I'll give you an example. When Duke played Houston in the Sweet 16, one of the Houston went down. When injury said Duke got lucky in that game, it wasn't luck. Injury happens. Injuries do happen. 100% of the time, injuries do happen. And you know what? If it happens in a series, it happens in a series. If it happens in a game, like in the NCAA March Madness where it's one and done, it happens, man. It happens. I mean, take the college football. Texas versus Alabama. Was it Colt McCoy that went down at that time? They would have beaten Alabama. Injuries happen, and sometimes they happen at the worst possible time. So again, I'm not on the Boston had an easy path to the NBA Finals. I don't buy it at all. So that's my rant for the evening. That's my Monday rant. I don't buy it. Boston wins the series. Great. They're champions. Who cares about it? There's no asterisk. There's no nothing. Let it go. Just let it go. All right, Spurs talk here. We'll be right back for some Spurs talk. So tomorrow I will be on Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia, and we had some interesting conversations, and I want to bring up a Locked On episode that was actually on today with Jeff Garcia and James Pledger, actually, ESPN Sports Star Zone. And I keep saying ESPN. Is it ESPN SA Sports Star? Something like that. Sports Star Zone, James Pledger. He was actually a guest on Sweep the League last week. Pledge and I went for damn near 2 hours, I think, on Sweep the League. But they had a conversation. If you had to pick between Lauri Markkanen and Darius Garland, which one would it be? Pledge made the case, and I make the same case as Pledge does. Why do you want one? If you have the opportunity to get both, do it. The question is posed. Do the Spurs have enough assets? Do they have enough capital, cap space to get both Darius Garland and Lauri Markkanen? The answer is a hell yes, they do. They really do. Salary-wise, Markkanen and Keldon Johnson's, they're right there. They are right there. I think Markkanen's at 18, Keldon's at 16. So the salaries match up. Now, Markkanen is a free agent at the end of this upcoming season. If you're San Antonio, you could wait. And remember, folks, I've been screaming it from the top of my lungs, and I've been saying it for a while. 2025, that offseason is the offseason for the Spurs. That's where you see a lot of these bigger name free agents come out, and a lot of, all-star caliber free agents are coming out in the summer of 2025. That's where I think you're going to see a lot of this money being spent by San Antonio. So nonetheless, if you can get Lauri in a trade in this offseason, great. If you can't, then you go out and sign him next offseason when he's a free agent. he would be an unrestricted free agent. So you may not have to give up any draft capital. But the Darius Garland thing, I think Darius is slated to make 38 next year. Then he's up to 39, 40, 42, I believe, for the remaining of his contract. So there is your max salary person right there. You have enough to do that. You have enough cap space to do that. The salary cap's going to go up. Again, I'm pretty sure the NBA signing, $2.5 billion deal with NBC. They've got other deals in works, the streaming services. So they're going to have a lot more money to play with there, which teams are going to have a lot more money to play with as well. The Darius Garland contract is fine. What would Cleveland want in return? This is kind of where you look at it. Okay, you've got 2 picks to play with this year. Obviously, you have the 4th and 8th. You have Atlanta's next year. You have your own next year. What would Cleveland want for a Darius Garland, trade to happen? Well, you're going to have to give up some assets, obviously. You're going to have to give up some draft picks. One of them is probably going to be next season's draft. They're probably looking at you can possibly give them the Spurs, your very own draft pick as well. Just say, you know what, take our 2025 for Darius. And then you're going to have to throw in some players. More than likely, you're going to probably have to move on. Like I said, Keldon's more than likely for Utah. But we got to look at the salary. I can actually bring up the salaries right now for the San Antonio Spurs and see which ones make sense for the Spurs. And we will actually bring it up for you right here. Let me get it up here. But if I'm not mistaken, like I said, Darius is right around the $39 million mark. So this is where Zach Collins, $16 million next year, would help. You're looking at possibly Devontae Graham is another one. So if you're moving Devontae and Zach, that's $28 million for next season. Plus you throw in, the draft capital, some of the draft capital that you have. You can also possibly throw in, golly, I mean, if you have to get rid of a Trey Jones or somebody of that thing, you could probably give a Malachi Branham as well. So you have the players to make it happen. Now, Zach Collins is a key there because a lot of people are speculating that Jared Allen is not going to be with Cleveland at the beginning of next season, that he's going to be on the move. So with Jared Allen there, you're leaving Evan Mobley. They could use another big. Zach Collins obviously is that big guy that they could use. Sending over Devontae Graham gives them an expiring contract, but it also gives them a point guard. We saw the emergence of Devontae Graham, and it kind of was a head scratcher because at the end of the season, you saw Devontae Graham starting to ball out, and people are thinking, why wasn't Devontae playing the entire season? That was a question that I had a lot too. At the beginning of the season, I was feeling like Devontae Graham should have an opportunity to get some major minutes, but we saw the Jeremy Sohan experiment at the point guard position, moving Trey Jones down to the backup point guard position. Then all of a sudden we saw Trey starting, and you saw Blake Wesley coming up. So you could move some of these pieces here. Devontae Graham could be gone as long as Zach Collins. You can throw in a Malachi Branham, as well as other draft picks for Darius Garland in return. They have enough cap space to eat up some of that contract to where they don't have to be trading equal contracts to make it match. But the Utah deal, if you're able to go out there and get a Lauri Markkanen at the same time, that's the key part, because with Danny Ainge, Danny always wants a massive haul in return for his stars. He's not going to do just here's a draft pick, a first-round pick, and we're going to throw in Keldon Johnson. That doesn't do it for Danny at all. Danny's going to want a massive haul. So as the Spurs, you're probably looking at one of the 2 picks this season, probably looking at also a 2026 pick. Do you give up that Hawks pick for a Lauri Markkanen? That's the key. If you are able to get a Markkanen and a Garland, I know everybody loves Cooper Flag next year's draft. Everybody loves it. Next year's draft is so loaded that I am not concerned if the Spurs are able to get a number 1 pick for next year, but later on in the draft. So kind of do possibly, I don't know. I mean, I would love for them to keep one of their picks, but they can also, give away that the Bulls pick, I believe they have next year. They also have a Hornets pick, so they could kind of add those in there to kind of sweeten the deal, because you absolutely never know. One of these teams could end up just making a nice little run, and then right there, that pick belongs to the Spurs. could go and return to Utah or Cleveland, wherever they may play. But this is the time where if they're going to make a move this offseason, making those two moves opens up a lot of doors, because then you're looking at a Garland, a Markkanen, a Vassell, a Wembanyama. You can probably go out and get, a very inexpensive veteran. The people were talking about, Klay Thompson. People are even talking about Tobias Harris even possibly coming to San Antonio. I know he's trained in the offseason here in San Antonio. He trained a little bit over at the Gervin Academy. Derek Gervin, Sweep the League host here, has been there with Tobias training. So I definitely think that, it's a possibility that some of these guys could be here in San Antonio, but it starts with, what do you do in the offseason? Do you make those two moves and say, screw this draft? I don't really like anybody in this draft. I can go out and get two certified ballers right now and pair them up with Devin Vassell and Victor Wembanyama. So that was a great conversation that Pledge and Jeff had on Locked On Spurs. Check it out. It's all part of the Locked On Network. Just search Locked On Spurs. Shout out to Jeff Garcia out there. Him and Pledge had a great show again. I'll be on tomorrow with Jeff on Locked On Spurs. We're talking about the expectations of the San Antonio Spurs. So be sure to check it out tomorrow. Locked On Spurs, Jeff Garcia, Tim Gonzalez in here. Cooper, we need Cooper Flag. Everybody needs Cooper Flag, man. Everybody needs Cooper Flag. So I can hear you there. Sorry I'm late, guys. I have no excuses. Let's get it, man. Nobody's ever late here. As long as you guys are just showing up, that's all that matters. We are sitting at 155 in our live stream right now. Shout out to everybody out there. Let's give a quick shout out to a lot of our sponsors here. Well, we don't call them sponsors. We call them partners here. They are partners of Sweep the League. La Cocina food truck here in New Braunfels, the absolute best street tacos around. I even challenged that into San Antonio. You know what? Make that short drive to New Braunfels, guys. It's not that far. You guys make it for Schlitterbahn. You guys make it for the river and all that. Well, get your butts over to La Cocina food truck. They're open Thursday through Sundays in the evening. It's the absolute best food out there. La Cocina food truck. Tell Louie that Sweep the League sent you, and he'll definitely take care of you out there. Hey, another shout out, man. You know me, I got that special leaf tea here. You want to be special, drink special leaf tea. Shout out to Lids. Lids is another partner of Sweep the League. Also, Burger Boy. Ooh, Burger Boy. I miss Burger Boy so bad. I the inner fat kid in me wants to come out and go get some Burger Boy, and also Mudslingers coffee. If you're going to sling mud, do it with the best. Do it with Mudslingers coffee. They've got the best coffee out in the business. We're going to be giving away some Mudslinger gift cards here pretty soon. So definitely hit up Mudslingers. All partners of Sweep the League. Shout out to Sports Saturday Network, one of our networks that we are a part of up in the New York area. Shout out to I Am Refocused Radio, another network that we are part of. Blessed to be a part of these guys here. We are continuing to grow here on Sweep the League. Tim Gonzalez is in here. Come on, Reed. I know you want Cooper Flag with the Spurs. I would love Cooper Flag with the Spurs, but it's no guarantee that the Spurs will get Cooper Flag. I don't have them winning 22 games again this season. I actually have them around the 27-28 win mark. So more wins equals less opportunities for them to get Cooper Flag. So they'd have to really, really have a horrible season in order for them to have a legitimate shot at Cooper Flag, or keep the Hawks pick. Hawks carried away Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. They're probably a lottery team. But I have a feeling, guys, that I think that Hawks pick is going to end up being moved somewhere in the offseason or before next year's draft. I think it's going to end up being moved to another team. I just have that feeling right now. It's Rudy Campos Jr. This is Sweep the League. It's another Manic Monday. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit of football. We're going to give a shout out to the Brahmas and whatever else you guys want to talk about. It is a Manic Monday. This is a show for the people, by the people. This is Sweep the League. We'll be right back, guys.
Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League. Subscribe and share.
Rudy Campos Jr. here from Sweep the League. Hey, make sure you go and follow Sherilyn on Instagram. Just search official Sherilyn on Instagram.
this man Gervin, and you're listening to Sweet Philly Radio.
Shout out to Cheryl Lynn. Shout out to George Gervin, the friends of the show here at Sweep the League. Appreciate you guys for dropping y'all's Instagrams. Also for George dropping the soundbite for Sweep the League. Again, it's really accomplishing. Your coach Gio will be joining us later on this week, as well as Derek Gervin. They'll be back on this week as well. We're trying to get the Rock back on. Austin Hartsfield is another guy that we're getting back on. Candice Garcia, the first lady of Sweep the League, is going to be joining us as well sometime soon here. So be on the lookout, guys. We got a lot going on. I got a couple more shout outs here. We're going to get into a big Comic-Con coming up in October shout out here. So we're going to do a little bit of Marvel, DC, Comic-Con general talk here at the last segment of Sweep the League. But the San Antonio Brahmas are on their way to the championship game against the Stallions. What can we say, guys? What can we say? San Antonio is a victory town. We're known for winning. We produce winners here. If I could do the Ric Flair woo soundbite, I would definitely do it, but I don't want YouTube to cancel us or anything because they kind of get a little mad. But shout out to the Brahmas, man. Great season, guys. Great season. They're moving on to the championship game against the Stallions, and of course, it's Brahmas 100% of the time. 100% of the time. So good luck to the Brahmas on the championship game here. They are going to get the Stallions. You got all the love from Sweep the League. Wishing y'all the best of luck. We got a little bit more NBA talk here, guys. We're going to get into the Dan Hurley thing right now. Vamos Brahmas. There you go. Shout out to the Brahmas again. Good luck on the championship game against the Stallions. Okay, guys. So Dan Hurley turned down the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, originally that whole contract was what, $100 million is what it was supposed to be from the Lakers to Dan Hurley. I mean, hell, $100 million. I think any coach would have left, but it was reported that it was like $70 million after it was all said and done. So Hurley made the right decision. You don't want to go to LA. LA is one of those teams where you kind of just set up for failure. I don't feel like any coach is going to be able to get through to that LA squad, especially, I know LeBron's a free agent. He's going to test the free agent market. But even with LeBron there, the so-called, greatest player of all time and all this other stuff, I do not see a coach being successful there. I really don't. It's so hard. You're going to have a coach like, man, I mean, like Pop would probably be able to work with them, even though I think he would struggle there. Outside of that, man, that's the thing with coaching these days in the NBA. Coaching is so difficult. You sign a 5-year deal. Technically, that 5-year deal is 2 years. You've got 2 years to get this right. If you struggle mightily that first year, you're one and done. And that sucks. That really does suck. You're one and done. I mean, look what happened in Phoenix. He's gone. That whole change there. You had the team, Beal, Booker, Durant. Budenholzer's there. He's there now. Is he going to be successful? Who knows? That's the problem with a lot of these players wanting to play with their friends and building these super teams is there's only one ball. You can't make everybody happy. Booker's so used to being the man. Well, when KD came in, okay, can I share the spotlight? Yeah, we can kind of make it work a little bit. Then you bring in Bradley Beal. You're bringing in another guy who's so used to being a scorer, who's so used to being the first option. That is a headache for a coach, for any coach. There's no more team ball. There is no more beautiful game like we saw in San Antonio in the finals against the Heat. It's no more team ball. This is one-on-one. This is give me the damn ball. I'm going to score. This is my contract says that if I average 27 points a game, I get a bonus at the end of the year. This is the league we are in now. So Dan Hurley made the right decision by staying at UConn, going for his third straight national championship. That is a lot easier said and done, in my opinion, than coaching the Los Angeles Lakers or a lot of these teams in the NBA right now. There's no ideal job in the NBA. I mean, sure, we see the Spurs, but I mean, even we're bitching about Pop, his coaching style. He's over the hill. It doesn't work anymore. There's so many, things that come into play when it comes to coaching in the NBA. And I'm seeing the comments here. Spurs should try and get Hurley. I've seen that there as well. But again, I don't know if Dan Hurley leaves, possibly a lifetime deal at UConn right now, where he's got job security. I don't think he leaves anywhere. I think he stays at UConn for good. Yeah, coaching right now in the NBA doesn't last long. Too many MCs, not enough mics. Exactly. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees it the way I'm seeing it. There's one ball. A head coach is not going to get through to these guys. I mean, if I had to pick ideal situations, Sacramento's an ideal situation. That's why you saw Mike Brown get extended. Houston is actually an ideal situation. That's a good situation to be in. And if you notice, I'm naming teams that don't have superstars. Like when I'm saying superstars, they don't have the Durants, the Hardens, Embiids, stuff like, players like that. Orlando Magic, Oklahoma City Thunder. All these teams are ideal situations for coaches. Denver Nuggets, ideal situation for coaches. These are all teams that play together. Yes, they have their superstars. Orlando has Paolo, but he's got the support of Wagner. We've seen Fultz. We've seen, Cole Anthony. Go to OKC, SGA. But he's got the support of Chet, Dort, Williams. I mean, there's a lot there for them to work with. Sacramento. De'Aaron Fox has the support of Domantas Sabonis. That's what I'm saying. Keegan Murray. These are the ideal situations for coaches. When you see teams like the Lakers, Phoenix, Milwaukee, I mean, they should have never hired Doc and they should have never gotten rid of Adrian Griffin. But those are the teams that suck to coach right now because you don't coach them. You walk into the gym, you walk into the practice facility, and here's the ball. Let's put up 500 jump shots, and then let's run a couple of plays, and then you know what? Go ahead and scrimmage the rest of the way. There's no more coaching when it comes to a lot of these teams. It's just these are the plays, and that's it. You can't coach a lot of these guys. What are you supposed to say? You know what, KD? You are the guy. Devin and Bradley, I need y'all to take a back seat to Kevin Durant. He's going to be our main focus. He's going to be our first option. That'll last all but 2 or 3 minutes on a team like that. Do you think Devin wants to hear, after being the man for so long in Phoenix, that he wants to be the second option? Mm-mm. You think when Bill came in, he was happy to know, like, well, I'm going to be the third option. He should have known he was, but he doesn't like that role. Look at the Clippers. I mean, Russ had to come off the bench, which was the best move for the Clippers. You think Russ was happy about that? Definitely not. I doubt Russ was happy about that at all. It's tough to coach in this league. So shout out to Dan Hurley. You made the right decision. I applaud you for that decision. Staying in the NCAA men's game, great decision by Dan Hurley. I get it, man. Coaching the NBA, it's elite level. But there's elite level, and then there is greatness at the college level where your job is secure for pretty much for as long as you want it. That's a success he's had there. And that's something that I think he made the right decision on. Don't go to the NBA. Not only that, college coaches. Rick Pitino, didn't work. John Calipari, didn't work. Jerry Tarkanian made it, 18 games? Didn't work. Larry Brown has been the only true successful NCAA to NBA head coach. Brad Stevens had some success, Quinn Snyder, a little bit. But majority of the coaches, similar to the NFL, coming out of college, trying to coach in the NFL, it doesn't work. People can throw Pete Carroll out there, but remember, Pete Carroll was a head coach in the NFL before he was a head coach in college. It just doesn't work. The college to the pro move doesn't work majority of the time. I think Dan Hurley understood that. And I think even if the Lakers did offer him $100 million, I don't think that's enough to make Dan Hurley leave the the safety net of UConn basketball. So shout out to Dan Hurley out there. Made the right decision. Let's see. We got Tim Gonzalez here. I think Hurley wanted to stay in the East Coast. Possibly. Lakers, Knicks, 76ers, Celtics, Bucks. Lots of pressure with those jobs. 100%. 100%. The Knicks are on the verge of, greatness. And again, I tweeted this a while back, and I think it was the Western Conference second round or something. I think it was the second round of the semifinals. And I said, Karl Anthony Towns is going to be a Knick. And I truly believe that. I think Karl Anthony Towns will be a Knick when it comes all said and done. He's out of Minnesota, so I think he'll be a New York Knick when it's all said and done, starting next season. So again, the Knicks have a lot of pressure to win next year. They've got a superb squad. Coach K got an offer to coach Lakers, but turned it down, and the rest is history. Again, the second time the Lakers have been turned down by the quote-unquote best coach in the NCAA at the time. I mean, Coach K, he's got a lot of success. We all know his success. Some of us hate it like I do, but he has a lot of success. But he turned down the Lakers job at one point too. He turned down the job to coach Kobe Bryant, had the chance to coach Kobe Bryant. Turned it down. Dan Hurley had the potential chance to coach possibly LeBron James if he went back. Turned it down. Players don't mean a lot to these coaches anymore because they know it's going to be hard to get through to them. Their system works in college. It's not going to work in the NBA. When we get back, guys, we're going to talk here about Comic-Con coming up. We're going to give a shout out to our Comic-Con coming up in San Antonio. A lot of big stars coming to this Comic-Con. Which one will it be? We'll mention here just a little bit. Something big. So, like I said, we'll mention it here on the next part of Sweep the League. We're getting to the last segment here. Sweep the League, Rudy Campos Jr. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Sherilyn, and you're watching Sweep the League. Subscribe and share.
Rudy Campos Jr. here from Sweep the League. Hey, make sure you go and follow Sherilyn on Instagram. Just search official Sherilyn on.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweet the League Radio.
All right, guys. Shout out to everybody that's been on this right now. We're up to 174 live views here on the stream. Appreciate you guys joining every single Monday through Friday night. Loving it here in the evenings. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Basically, you start your day off with other podcasts around town or podcasts you listen to. I listen to a lot of Sirius XM when it comes to my stuff during the day, but we love to be the last listen for you guys in the evening. Again, I'll be on Locked On Spurs tomorrow. So nonetheless, let me get into here. Let me share this out here. We're talking a little bit of Comic-Con right here. And we've got a pretty big Comic-Con coming up here in San Antonio. Let's share it out. That is Big Texas Comic-Con, guys. Okay, so Big Texas Comic-Con, it's going to be coming to you October, 12th and 13th, or 11th through the 13th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. San Antonio's got a bunch of Comic Cons, man. We get cons. I was just at one this past weekend. YumiCon, Jeff Garcia actually went on Saturday. Hooked him up for a little bit there. It was a good con. I liked it. My daughter loved it. She was able to get a couple of autographs that she's been wanting to get. Some voice actors. Shout out to Abby Trott out there. She loves Abby Trott. Obviously, that's a Demon Slayer character. And I just finished watching Hunter x Hunter. So she was a Maki on Hunter x Hunter. Shout out to Abby Trott out there. Appreciate you taking the time to talk to my daughter and sign an autograph for her. But Big Texas Comic Con, October 11th through 13th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. Are you going to be out there? Well, the answer should be yes. You guys should be out there. They've got a lot of people coming. You've got to announce this Joe Pantoliano. I'm sorry. What do you remember him from? Matrix guy. He's also from Bad Boys. I mean, he's part of a lot of great movies. You definitely want to see him out there. They got a lot of people coming in. Bonnie Wright, obviously from the Harry Potter series. Kellen Goff, anime voice actor. They've got a bunch. Alex Le. I'm also it's Lee or Le. I'm sorry. Forgive me for butchering it. But Demon Slayer. This is one that my daughter is excited to go see. You can see one of the Demon Slayer characters right there. That's actually her favorite Demon Slayer. You got to forgive me because I'm not a big, Demon Slayer guy. I'm trying to watch it here and there. Also, you've got the Turtle Shell. Got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, brothers. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You got Ernie Reyes, Judah Hugg. I mean, these guys played in the original movie itself. Ken Scott, Francis Shao. You got Robbie Wrist. You got Brian Tausche. You got everybody coming up. Big Texas Comic Con happening October 11th to the 13th. You can find me out there, guys, whether I'm going to be out there, I'm going to be out there hanging out. I'm going to be in line with everybody else. I'm going to be having fun out there. I may try to help them do a little bit of stuff or whatever, but nonetheless, guys, I will be out at Big Texas Comic Con. I'm going to hopefully see you guys out there. It's going to be fun. This is a big Comic Con coming in October. Needless to say, you're probably going to see a lot of us big nerds out there. More than likely, you'll see Jeff Garcia roaming around there because he's a big nerd just like me. Big Texas Comic Con coming October 11th through the 13th at the Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center. It's going to be fun. Get your tickets now, man. I mean, if tickets are going to go on sale, you got to go to bigtexascomiccon.com. Again, it's going to be October 11th through the 13th. You want to go to their Facebook page or on X, just search Big Texas Comic Con, or go to bigtexascomiccon.com. You can see a list of all the guests coming. Right now, it's Elijah Wood, Charlie Cox, Daredevil himself. Daredevil, man. How many of y'all are going to go dressed in Daredevil gear? Are you going to go with the yellow costume, or are you going to go with the red costume if you were dressing up as Daredevil? Elijah Wood, Sean Austin. When I walk into that convention center and I hear everybody chanting Rudy, I don't know if it's going to be for me or if it's going to be for Sean Astin. I don't know who it's going to be. I hope it's for me. I hope everybody sees me. But nonetheless, if it's for Sean Astin, then so be it. The Goonie himself, man. I mean, you got everybody coming here. You got Steve Burns, Blues Clues. He's going to be here. Sting is going to be here. JD Pardo is going to be here. We got a lot of people coming, man. A lot of people. Tim is on there, man. You know what, Tim? It's one day. College football season is on Saturday. So if you want, you can go Friday, you can go Sunday. Or you know what? Go all 3 days and just, brother, man, we got phones, man. You can stream the college football game on your phone. That's how great it is. Technology is fantastic. Big Texas Comic Con, shout out to them. We're going to be shouting out to Big Texas Comic Con here every single week, every single day that we are on. We're going to give them shout outs again. Who's to say we may even give away some tickets to Big Texas Comic Con here, as we want to get this filled for them. This is one of the bigger Comic Cons in town, so one of the best ones as well, Big Texas Comic Con. Again, bigtexascomiccon.com to get all the information. And stay tuned. We're probably going to give away some tickets to Big Texas Comic Con. So nonetheless, we're giving away a whole bunch of stuff here. Before I go, I want to give a real quick shout out again for those of y'all that want to be a part of it, that want to help out here. Like I said, contact me on DM. Again, we're trying to get Sadie and her team, the San Antonio Beehive. We're trying to get them to Louisiana, the All-Stars World Series. They're doing a raffle right now. So they've got like 35 spots, 1 through 35. You pick a number. I can post the number. I can post the board on my social media. If you want to pick a number and join, by all means do that. I'll give you the information to contact them where you can send your money. If you want, you can even contact me. I'll send it right over there to them. Basically, they're going to pick one lucky winner to win $200. So you spend money, $25 for the entry in the raffle, you can win $200. Everything goes to the San Antonio Beehive to send Sadie to the All-Star World Series in Louisiana. All-Star bound. It is a fundraiser, so let's get these kids to the All-Stars, man. They deserve it. They've been playing all season. They've been playing great all season long. Let's not let them down. Let's not let them down at all. Let's come together as a group, and let's get these kids over to Louisiana for All-Stars. So, guys, we appreciate you joining us here. We've been on the stream here for just over an hour, so I appreciate you guys joining in. Tomorrow is Tuesday. It's Taco Tuesday. Get those questions rolling in. It's AMA night as well. Ask me anything. We can talk about whatever you guys want. Again, we're going to give shout outs to every single thing we've got going on here. La Casina Food Truck, New Braunfels, Texas. Mudslinger, Special Leaf Tea. We've got Lids. We've got Burger Boy. We've got like Mudslingers as well, like I mentioned. All these guys, great partners. Be sure to hit them up. Show support for them. MCS General Contracting also as well. Got a lot of people that are partners with Sweep the League. Support them the way we support you guys and the way you support us. Again, this is a podcast for the people, by the people. So appreciate everybody joining me tonight. We are strong at 179 on the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Till we see you guys again tomorrow, everybody be safe, and we will see you later, knuckleheads.
Hey, this is George Iceman Gervin, and you're listening to Sweet